Planned Parenthood has been in the news a lot recently thanks to a maliciously edited video that makes it look like they're selling baby parts.
It's actually not a single maliciously edited video. It's actually hours and hours of feature-length footage of this happening. I got my t-shirt on too, and my glasses, and I also have a circular necklace right here. Mine's a Tesla coil, pretty cool. But I didn't get the memo about how we were going to do that thing where we sit in front of our bookshelf so that it makes ourselves look smarter. So I'm in front of my computer. It doesn't really have quite the same effect.
Baby parts.
I thought you said it wasn't baby parts.
It's really hard for those of us with two brain cells to rub together to understand why this is even a thing.
Actually, it's, what, 5 videos now? And the last one, they actually had talked about selling 20-week-old intact fetuses.
If we alter a process and we are able to obtain intact fetal cadavers, it's all just a matter of line items.
That's not even a part, that's a whole baby.
It's really hard for those of us with two brain cells to rub together to understand why this is even a thing.
It's a thing because we live in a country where the bald eagle has more protection for its eggs, its babies, and just the bird itself than human babies in the womb do. Stop rubbing your brain cells together and keep them in your brain and use them to think critically. Although it's not really that hard to think when there's just 5 straight up videos that are there with, you know, dishes of actual parts, legs and eyeballs and livers and things like brains just right in the dish. They clearly show it. So I don't know about you, but my humanity is still intact. So it hasn't been wrenched out of my torso by Cthulhu or something.
First of all, obviously, Planned Parenthood is not fucking selling baby parts, you idiots.
Dropping the F-bomb and then calling everyone a bunch of idiots is probably not a really good way to get a lot of people to continue to listen to anything else coming out of your mouth after you've insulted everyone and made yourself sound like some kind of North Shore sailor. It just doesn't really bode well for your case. It just sounds like a bunch of ad hominem attacks.
Even if they were selling baby parts.
They're selling baby parts. There's 5 videos of them doing it.
Right?
Yes,
this is
correct.
kidney. Yeah, these are lungs because that's the trachea in the middle.
Yes. So the intestines are here. The organs come out really well.
3% of all of Planned Parenthood's activities are related to abortions.
Did you get that statistic from Planned Parenthood? I didn't even know people used that statistic anymore. It's been so thoroughly debunked. I mean, here's the thing about that, okay? Planned Parenthood, they splice out all of their services. All of their services. If a woman comes in and they talk to the woman about birth control, give them a pregnancy test, give them an aspirin, give them a cup of water, and then give them an abortion, all of those count as services. So just someone walking in the door and getting a little bit of counseling is technically a service. I mean, anytime they see anyone, every single thing they do while they're there is called a service. So to say 3% is very misleading because actually abortions, even in the first trimester at Planned Parenthood, if you check their website, it says each abortion costs up to $1,500, but it can be less. But even if you cut it down to a third and say it's only $500, they're still performing 898 abortions on average every day in this country. They perform over 330,000 abortions a year. Abortions makes up handily a third of the money Planned Parenthood is bringing in. A third. That's like if I have a car dealership, right, and I sell used cars, and some of them are Pintos, which, you know, get bought a lot because people don't have a lot of money, but I also sell Porsches for a lot of money, and people come in and buy those as well. And that is going to make up for a larger portion of my total sales because it costs more. 3% suggested it's something they just randomly do every once in a great while or something. That is not what's going on here.
And of all the abortions they do, about 90% of them happen around the first trimester when the fetus is approximately the size of a kidney bean.
Well, that's just lovely, and I appreciate that. But in the latest video, they actually haggle and talk about selling 20-week-old intact fetuses.
It was a 20. I know what you mean. The 20 station age. It's really important. We do like a 20 the 22 weekers we do, get a lot better.
So nobody is looking at that tiny kidney bean and saying, let's dice that up and sell its parts.
A 20-week-old fetus is about 6.5 inches long, okay? So your kidney bean is going to be about that big around here.
For money. That's not a get-rich-quick scheme, you guys. That's a terrible, terrible money-making scheme.
What would you expect for intact tissue? What sort of compensation? What sort of...
Well, why don't you start by telling me what you used to pay?
$100 per specimen, 50 specimens per day would be $5,000 per day that Planned Parenthood was collecting from fetal tissue. Extrapolate that $120,000 per month. That is certainly not recouping cost.
So no, what's obviously actually happening is that women who have abortions are given the opportunity sometimes to donate the fetal tissue to scientific research. How dare they?
Did you just spin that to make it sound like Planned Parenthood is giving these women the option to donate?
How dare they? How dare Planned Parenthood allow women to, instead of throwing something in the garbage, allowing scientists to use it and research it in order to help, I don't know, cure HIV?
If the women knew that Planned Parenthood was then also making money per part off of their child, and I do mean per part because that is what happened in the video, $100 for a liver here, $100 for a brain there, whatever, I'm pretty sure they would at least want a discount on the abortion. Just saying.
How dare they use that garbage?
You just called babies garbage.
For the betterment of humanity.
That's not actually what's happening. Adult stem cells are what are being used to cure all of these things. I don't even know what you're talking about or where you got that information. I think you're just coming up with it off the top of your 2 brain cells.
So yeah, there's the fact that they're obviously not selling baby parts on the black market.
Obviously, hours and hours of video. Unedited, full-length video that any person can go watch. Obviously.
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 Obviously. Obviously. Obviously.
Will you stop saying that?
And number 2, there's the fact that this video is made by the same people who were associated with the organization Live Action, which is best known for making maliciously edited videos to try to take down Planned Parenthood.
But you, on the other hand, are regurgitating Planned Parenthood propaganda and made-up statistics. So how is your opinion more objective?
So despite the fact that this is obviously a ridiculous made-up accusation.
Okay, I'm just going to let you know. Obviously, I've just looked it up here so we can discuss it, is an adverb that means in a way that is easily perceived or understood clearly. Visibly is also a synonym for obviously. Visibly is what is happening in the video that I watched with my own 2 eyes, and I saw the plates with the baby parts on it. That's called obvious. Not obvious is, to me, is how you can make this argument when it's just so utterly 100% wrong.
If you live in the United States, congratulations, your tax dollars are now going to go to work investigating it. That's right, House Republicans are agitating for a formal investigation into Planned Parenthood, a probe for baby parts. Good luck, guys.
It's not okay that we're spending some of our tax dollars to go ahead and investigate this, but it's totally fine if we spend $500 million a year in allowing them to do it.
This all reminds me of a course I took in college on heresy and persecution. And I learned that throughout human history, there has been a very specific accusation leveled at people in marginalized groups, usually the Jews, but sometimes other religious people.
Is this the part where we're supposed to throw out all our credentials to try and make ourselves sound smarter, like it somehow lends credence to the bullshit that we're saying?
And it goes like this. They get together in secret. They have orgies. The orgies result in babies. And then they take the babies and they kill them and they burn them into ashes. And then they make the ashes into little cakes. And then they eat them at their next orgy.
I got 3 college degrees and I think you're full of shit.
It's a very specific accusation that comes up again and again and again, and it always baffled me that someone could believe that their fellow humans could do something so ridiculous.
You made this video, and I'm baffled by that. So I'm surprised that you made it. Maybe not so much, but I'm actually surprised you kept it up even after videos 4 and 5 came out, which clearly make you look like you have no idea what you're talking about. This is like watching someone run into a wall over and over.
Such an obviously ridiculous waste of everybody's time and babies.
You seem like one of those people that was raised on The Daily Show. And your education level about the way that things work in reality seems very limited.
But now it's 2015 and an organization that is mostly responsible for providing poor women with basic health care.
You know why it's poor women mostly? Okay, it's because it was founded by a eugenicist Nazi sympathizer who hated minorities and poor people. She wants there to be less of them than everyone else. This is things that she wrote. If you don't know who Margaret Sanger is now, the founder of your beloved Planned Parenthood abortion mills / black market baby part wheeler and dealer, you need to go actually do some research and look her up so that you know even a little bit about what you're actually talking about.
Things like cancer screenings and birth control.
They keep making it sound like Planned Parenthood is just sitting around all day screening women for cancer. That's just not what's happening. Do you know how many cancer screenings they do? Just a few thousand more than abortions, okay? It's not like they're just sitting around all day going, gosh, I hope we save all women from cancer. They don't have one single mammogram machine in any Planned Parenthood office.
Is being accused of pushing women to have abortions and then taking the resulting abortion, dicing it up into parts and selling it on the black market.
Yes! You got it! That's exactly what they're doing! Yeah, that's what's happening. Obviously.
And I realize that if it accomplishes your end goals, whether it be persecuting a religious group you don't like or defunding an organization that helps poor women, then people will believe the unbelievable.
Hours and hours of video of Planned Parenthood reps and doctors from all over the country talking about selling baby parts. I don't know, I just don't get how when they put out hours and hours of video of them selling the baby parts, you come out with a video that's hateful, angry, and you're just all ate up inside saying they're not doing it when clearly for hours there's unedited video of them doing it. I don't understand that. That's the part where I got really confused. It's pretty horrible, actually.
Baby parts.
Hey, Steffi.
Yes?
You should come here. I need you to watch this video about how everything I don't want you to be when you grow up.
Okay.
Right here, mine's a Tesla coil. Pretty cool. But I didn't get the memo about how we were going to do that thing where we sit in front of our bookshelf so that it makes ourselves look smarter. So I'm in front of my computer. It doesn't really have quite the same effect.
Baby parts.
I thought you said it wasn't baby parts.
It's really hard for those of us with 2 brain cells to rub together to understand why this is even a thing.
Actually, it's, 5 videos now? And the last one, they actually had talked about selling 20-week-old intact fetuses.
If we alter a process, and we are able to obtain intact fetal cadavers. It's all just a matter of line items.
That's not even a part. That's a whole baby.
It's really hard for those of us with two brain cells to rub together to understand why this is even a thing.
It's a thing because we live in a country where the bald eagle has more protection for its eggs, its babies, and just the bird itself than human babies in the womb do. Stop rubbing your brain cells together and keep them in your brain.
Planned Parenthood has been in the news a lot recently thanks to a maliciously edited video that makes it look like they're selling baby parts.
It's actually not a single maliciously edited video. It's actually hours and hours of feature-length footage of this happening. I got my t-shirt on too, and my glasses, and I also have a circular necklace for my brain and use them to think critically. Although it's not really that hard to think when there's just 5 straight up videos that are there with, you know, dishes of actual parts, legs and eyeballs and livers and things like brains just right in the dish. They clearly show it. So I don't know about you, but